The two posh girls ask the question of the day.
I love it.
It's you right in the mood. Right in the mood for it.
How long do you think a long distance relationship can work?
0 days.
I think it just depends. So did y'all start out long distance? Because those don't really last. If you've had a relationship for a really, really long time before that, then I think maybe that can last a little longer.
Like a week.
4
Man with
days,
experience.
5 hours.
So I think that it could. I think if it's something, if somebody new, someone that you didn't start out dating that way, I think it's like any relationship. There's the excitement of a new relationship, but I think the reality that you're not going to see them all the time. You're not going to see them every day. It depends on how far. If they're an hour away, if they're a state away, or you have to fly. I mean,
So I know from a lot of famous people that actually have made it work, and if they go on tour, they all have rules. They either have to come home once every 2 weeks at the minimum, or the other person flies there. And Patrick and I have had to do long distance before because of his business, and we did the same thing. And if you do that and you commit to that, then it can work. But you have to also have rules while they're out.
You have to have like a lot of communication.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I dated somebody that was long distance, and I would see him like every week or every other week, like every 2 weeks. But he was really bad communicating on the day to day, and it's like
And
you
that's
have to
not
be.
good.
That's
No.
not good. Like
how
you
long
need
that last?
8 months.
Wow,
That's
longer.
pretty long.
That's pretty good, yeah.
But I was just like, where's this going? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, if your communication is bad, like,
Yeah, it's
you
just-
have no
because
hope
it
in
just, like-
person or from a distance.
you know, I feel like, and I've been in when I was younger in long-term or long-distance relationship where you're like talking to the person every day, you almost feel closer in a
Right.
weird way
Yeah.
because you're
Right.
always in communication. But if you don't have that, it's
then
like
it will not work.
it just shakes your security.
Yeah, for sure. Miss Polly,
Yes.
what do you think?
I honestly agree with the communication piece of that. Because if you're, and honestly communicating, not just texting, hey, how you doing? What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And then it's done. It's like, well, I'd rather talk to you. Like, call me face to face, FaceTime, whatever, video chat,
I love FaceTime.
something, because the whole, it's really hard to communicate properly via text because they can't,
Right.
you can't
Yeah.
see their face. You can't,
The
you can't
context
get
gets
Yeah,
lost.
their
exactly.
emotions,
It's,
the context
million
gets
percent.
totally lost. And you just don't have the same feeling. And my long distance relationship literally lasted less than a month, maybe a month.
Wow.
Because I was like, okay, yeah. And I was done. If he wasn't willing to make the commitment or effort to come and see me, and if I was always the one doing the traveling,
Yeah,
It's
no.
a one-sided relationship.
Yeah.
nope,
No.
nope.
We know
nope.
about those.
We're not going there. Yeah.
I was just going to you next,
Those
Gino.
one-sided can kiss my butt. Kiss my butt.
Yeah.
What do you think, Gino?
I mean, if both people are fully committed to each other, I think it can work just as fine because you're going to not be long distance forever. But if one half it becomes one-sided and the other person goes out the door, both literally and in the relationship, then it's not going to work. It's going to go pretty quick.
Judging from experience.
Like, in a
I don't
week.
think it can work. I think it's very rare for it to work.
I think it's just hard
think
because
in-
you'd feel lonely.
Yeah, but there's initial excitement, like you were talking about, Miss Polly. Like initially, it's like you feel closer, but the longer you're apart, the more it feels like you're separated.
Well, and then at some point, somebody's going to have to make a choice, right? So someone's going to have to
Yeah.
move, and then that seems very,
How
I don't
about
know,
you,
it seems
Jen?
hard.
Do I think it will work?
Mhm.
I mean,
She did long distance for a while.
You
I
did.
think you have
I
more
did,
input
but
on
that
this.
that didn't work very well. I mean, I dated someone who traveled a lot and wasn't good at communicating, and my needs weren't being met. And
I feel like the reason their relationship worked, I know I'm inserting myself in here, and I always told this to Jen, I'm like, it's working right now because she was in nursing school, and in nursing school, you are required to put so much time and energy in your work. Like, you can't even really have that much time for a partner. And I'm like, Jen, you're going to get out of school and you're going to hate this guy.
I don't know how I had so much time for Fireball then.
That's because I would be like,
They all stay together so long.
that's because I would take her out
Totally
and be
different
like,
relationship, man.